Parul Kakkad, Mumbai mummy, mother of 4. Like everyone going through everything during this pandemic, I've also fallen prey to COVID with my kids and myself. And today I'm here with my pediatrician, Dr. Nihar Parekh, who helped me through this in a really good way. And thinking about it, I came across a lot of moms having a lot of questions, asking me questions, and thought that maybe I can club together a lot of questions and answer everything and have Dr. Nihar answer them for you today. So as we've seen over the last 1 year, there was the entire fear of and the symptoms and everything, and now we've reached a point of COVID and vaccines both. So we're literally battling and tackling two different thoughts and processes in our head. Just wanted to know what caused the sudden surge in COVID-19 spreading in India, and how come it's so much more contagious and deadlier than the original strain?
Okay, so first and most important, the change of virus strains, the double mutation strain, the VOC it's called, the variant of concern. It started, I think, from UK, South Africa, Brazil. It became like a completely new one in India to a point where we reached, and it was called the Indian strain now, which is the B1617. Started in Vidarbha, Maharashtra, spread across the country, much more virulent, much more dangerous, spreads faster, hampers health in adults, younger adults, and in children, giving them the disease. So yeah, it's a little scary time, but the virus is strong. But the only way to prevent the spread is to vaccinate as much as possible, as fast as possible, until the shots are taken, to mask as much as possible and as proper as possible. Because masking is not a namesake practice that every parent should do. It should be a good mask covering both the nose and the mouth, not just a fashion statement and a convenience factor where they can remove as and when they feel sort of suffocated or difficulty in breathing. So masking up till you get the vaccine, continue to mask up, take the vaccine, but once you're done with 2 weeks after the second dose, it's a pretty much guarantee that you will not reach the hospital, you will not experience the severity of the disease, require a ventilator on an intensive care, and definitely not succumb to the disease. So although there are rumors that vaccine is not 100% protection, which is completely true, it builds immunity up to 70 to 75%, whether you take Covishield, Covaxin, but it is 100% guarantee that you will not go to the hospital. It's 100% guarantee that you will not die. So please take the vaccine. Don't choose us, don't be picky, don't Covishield, I will wait for the Russian one, I will wait for Pfizer. My friend tells me in America that's the best. Sputnik is coming in, please don't. So the government was a little lax. We all got lax. Why blame the government? We started going out. We started meeting our friends. We started traveling. We kind of started putting our masks down. There were not enough vaccines taken at that time. We took the liberty to say, oh, COVID's gone now. We don't even need the vaccine. Why take the vaccine if we've got the disease? We have immunity. People started maintaining Excel sheets of the levels of immunity. Absolutely pointless. And that's the reason we are in the state we are today. So if you don't want the third wave to be worse than the second, if you don't want the fourth wave to be worse than the second, please get yourself vaccinated as fast as possible and wear your mask as much as possible too.
Okay. Doc, a lot of people don't know what a vaccine actually is and how it actually works.
So vaccine is basically a part of the virus injected in you. The part which does not have the capacity to replicate and cause the disease or grow in your body, but the part of the virus which is good enough to trigger the immune system of your body to be prepared that in case you get the virus, before the virus realizes and spreads, that immune system which is triggered can kill the virus, prevent the disease from spreading, prevent the sickness from becoming bad enough to get hospitalized or in intensive care. So virus basically triggers your immune system, keeps it prepared like an army waiting to kill the virus the minute it enters the system.
Okay. Do vaccines have side effects?
Yes, vaccines do have side effects. It is a part of the virus that is injected, so you will get a minor form of the disease. In fact, I would be happy if you get a minor form of the disease, because that means your body is responding well, your immunity is triggered well, and you're more prepared for the disease. Body ache, headache, severities in form of loose motions, 2-3 days of fever. Yes, a mini form of the disease, and very, very, very rarely those unfortunate people who really experience the most severe form of side effects.
I did.
Yeah.
Some body ache.
You have to go through it, but it's like the risk of, the accident you would have while taking a flight. Nobody ever thinks twice. When you take a flight to Goa or take a flight to Maldives or take a flight to Europe, there is a percentage that you may die because of an accident. You don't think twice while taking a flight, so why think twice while taking the shot?
Correct. Okay, can kids take the vaccine?
So there are Pfizer and BioNTech in phase 3. I think next month they may encourage kids over 10 to take the vaccine in the West. We may get those similar vaccines in 3 months, 10 years onwards. Right now, from first, it's 18 years onwards. 10 years onwards may be there. After 3 months, maybe 9 months to a year later, every child above 6 months will be able to take the shot. This is my prediction. There's a lot of research in process. If things get done as they're planned, I think yes, that should be the time scale.
That's good to hear. Can people die after taking the vaccine?
Extremely, extremely, extremely rare. I have not heard of. Yes, media has. People have shared experiences, personal experiences. Media has put on few cases. But in medical documentation so far, there have been none across the world.
Okay. If someone has contracted and recovered from COVID, how long should they wait before taking the vaccine, and will it interfere with their existing antibodies?
You've been through the disease, you're 14 days after the disease, it's been a month since the first symptom, please take the vaccine. Irrespective whether it was hard, it was mild, whether you were admitted, not admitted, antibodies develop, not develop. Month passed by from the first dose of the vaccine, from the first day of the symptom, please plan to take the vaccine.
Okay. What is the optimal time duration between taking the 2 doses of vaccine?
Covishield recommendations are now between 6 to 8 months. Covaxin is still, 6 to 8 weeks. That is 1.5 months to 2 months for Covishield. Covaxin is still at 1 month. But look, if you've taken Covishield first dose, if you think there is a possibility of the stock running out, if there is a possibility of its availability not being there after 5th or 6th week, I would still say just take it after the 4th week. It's okay. You won't reach 90%, you'll reach 75% immunity. But that's good enough for saving your life and preventing you from going to the hospital.
Will one shot save you from COVID?
No. One shot is hardly any immunity. It takes 2 weeks from the second shot to give you that 75 to 80%.
Okay.
We've had serious cases post one shot. In all medical aspects, I would say one shot is as good as nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
You need to guard down after the first shot.
Okay. What are the chances of getting hospitalized after taking the vaccine?
After 2 weeks after the second shot, 0.
Okay, these are some vaccine myths and facts. People think by taking the vaccine they'll never get the virus.
That's absolute nonsense. Nothing can prevent you from the virus entering your body besides the mask. But if you've taken the vaccines, you will not react to the virus. If you've taken 2 shots, you may fall sick for a day or 2, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean it will prevent the virus from entering the body.
Okay. People are skeptical about the vaccine's efficacy on the mutated strain. Does the vaccine work on the new variants of COVID?
So I would go to the extent and say something better than nothing. The vaccines will give you against the mutated strains 50 to 60% of immunity, 70 to 75% against the regular variants, but 50 to 60% is a good enough protection to prevent you from long-term repercussions.
Okay. Another myth. Can women on their period safely take the vaccine? There seems to be some rumors around this topic.
Oh my God, no, there is absolute no connection. Please, take it on the day of the period, take it at the peak of the period, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, okay. There are rumors and videos floating saying with the new mutated strain after the 1st of March, you don't need to take the vaccine. And if you've taken the first shot, you don't need to take the second shot at all.
So this is an absolute false statement. The only thing is, there is a current research going on that if you've been through a proper disease, one shot of the vaccine may be good enough, but it is still under research. So till that is not official, I would encourage every person to take 2 shots.
Okay. I wanted you to emphasize the importance of masks.
We are going through tough times for children and us adults. So I want everybody to stay safe. I want us to get through this. I want for people to understand that life will become normal again, and we have to do what it takes. It will take 60% of the population of India to take the vaccines, to get herd immunity and throw the disease out of the country. We are currently between 3 and 4%. So the prediction is it will take up to 600 days more. That's nearly around 2 years to reach that 60% if we are hell-bent on increasing the numbers and the vaccine supplies. So till that time, the only thing that's going to save you is the mask, a good quality mask covering your nose and your chin, having no open air vents, allowing the virus to enter, is going to save your life till you get the shot. Once you get the shot, you still keep your mask on. Once you get both the shots, you still keep your mask on. Once you're done with 2 weeks after the 2 shots, you still keep your mask on till your government doesn't tell you that we are out of these terrible times. So please keep your masks on at all times, and please take both the vaccines as soon as possible.
Doc, there's just a little around COVID and everything about plasma donation and awareness. What are your thoughts on it?
So, as per the kind of protocol set by WHO and medical organizations, plasma of what we call as convalescent plasma, which has been taken from people who have suffered from the disease, is not much of a help. Is not proving to save lives. So yes, do donate your plasma. They will be used by the doctors at the right time. They will be the best judge. But the one thing that is for sure, that giving plasma to a person suffering from a serious COVID case will not harm the patient.
Okay.
So even if it works and helps in 5 to 10% of the patients, helping in reducing the severity of the disease in 5 to 10% of those cases who are on ventilators and are critical, I think it's worth donating plasma, but let the physician decide when and how much to give.
Okay. What are the guidelines and factors for plasma donation, and how can people donate plasma?
Once you've recovered 2 weeks after COVID, go ahead and give the plasma. There are online websites available. There are people you can contact. They will do the needful, and they will use your blood, take the plasma, and give it. There is no harm to donating plasma once you've recovered from the disease completely, and it's been over 2 weeks.
Okay. Doc, in your experience, has any child needed plasma?
No, none so far.
Okay.
No child has needed plasma. In my experience, no child has required remdesivir so far.
Okay, and there's a shortage of medications. Are these effective, or there's actually a shortage?
So there's definitely a shortage. Fortunately, in children, the requirement is near zero, so they're not experiencing the shortage. When it comes to adults, there is a significant shortage.
Okay. Can these medications be taken by yourself?
No, you cannot. You cannot hoard, you cannot store. Have a good thermometer, which will help you measure the fever. Have a good pulse oximeter for the adults who can monitor these things. And if you have elderly parents with comorbidities, there is no harm in having an oxygen concentrator.
Okay, I think, Doctor, we've pretty much covered everything. Thank you so much. Would you like to add on to anything?
Stay safe, guys. It's tough times, but we're going to get out of it. Like I said, keep your mask up before your shots and get your shots in time, and we're going to get through this.